video, I want to talk about some reset activities that you can do to create that like fresh, magical, clean, slatey feeling for your new year in 2020. All of the things that I talk about in this video, I'm actually going to be doing them in the next 5 days, and I'm going to be recording them and uploading the videos to my channel. So if you want 2020 reset content and you want a little bit of inspiration, motivation to kick off your 2020 in the right way, then definitely hit the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date. The activities that I'm going to talk about in this video are going to help you to feel more together because your space will be more together. You're going to have a little bit more clarity around how 2020 is gonna look, and you're gonna feel really excited for the new year. That's what all the things that I'm talking about in this video are all about. So, step one of any New Year's reset activity, and I always say this, is to do a space reset. If you're keen for decluttering inspiration, I actually have a whole playlist where I go through my whole decluttering process. So I'll have that linked down below. Sometimes it's really good to watch someone else do the thing that you want to be doing to motivate you to do it. So what you want to do is actually pick a few categories in your house. So you're gonna have things that you've been thinking about for a little while that you're like, oh, that really needs a declutter. So maybe your wardrobe is like stuffed full, or your bathroom cabinet, things are falling out when you open it. Pick those areas that have been bugging you a little bit and do a full declutter. You want to do this the KonMari way. So take everything out of its normal space so that you can get a fresh perspective on it. There is some weird effect when you take things out of their normal space where you just see them in a completely different light, and you get rid of things that you probably would have just skipped over if you just tried to declutter your wardrobe by looking at it. Another addition to your space reset is to actually do a little walk around of your house and brainstorm a list of little things that you want to get done around your space. These are things that maybe you've wanted to fix, clean, or just change. So it might be that you want to swap that plant with that plant, or you want to move that couch into that room, add a hook over there. These are tiny little things. They don't have to be huge. However, when you go into 2020 with them changed, it's going to feel like you're almost in a whole new space because you'll have tiny little changes that have multiplied. Also, by doing this, you'll find that your life is just a lot more convenient. I'm big on like tiny improvements to your space to make your life easier. If you can add a hook there, put a jar there, and it makes your life a little bit easier, it all adds up when you make a ton of those little changes. The next reset activity is creating your vision board for the new year. This is something that I really like to do every single year. Really, I could do this on a quarterly basis. It's just a really fun activity. Even if you're someone who doesn't really do goals or doesn't really like planning ahead, a vision board can just give you a really good sense of direction and a sense of purpose in your life. To create a vision board, you want to get clear on what you actually want in life. I have a good video on how to figure out what you want. It has a bunch of interactive prompts that you can do, so I'll have that linked up here and below if you want to dive deep into that space. If you're someone who isn't into planning ahead, looking 5 years into the future, that's a bit intimidating, a little bit too much for you, that's fine. Think of it more as creating an ideal version of yourself. So literally just ask yourself, what would the ideal version of me and what would the ideal version of my life look like? So ask yourself questions like, how would other people perceive me, and how would I be feeling in my body on a daily basis, and maybe even where would I be living if you want to think that far ahead. So use your vision to decide on specific things that you actually want to put on your vision board. So maybe you want to put a particular car on your vision board, or a number that you want to be earning, or the dog that you want to buy. The next reset activity is all about actually resetting your phone and creating a distraction-free phone for 2020. This is for the people that want to get productive, want to get focused. Maybe clarity is your word of the year for 2020. At the end of last year, start of this year, I read the books Deep Work and Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport, and that completely changed my relationship with social media. As Cal Newport says in his book, humans are simply not wired to be constantly wired. So if your life, your focus, your attention is being taken away from you right now because of your phone or technology, take some time to reset your phone so that it's distraction free in 2020. You can start with the basics with the social media declutter and email declutter, and then start decluttering your apps the KonMari way. Create a distraction free home screen and do just a big old reset of what your phone looks like. Make it a distraction free device. I will be creating a way more in-depth video on how to actually do this. That way you get like the step-by-step walkthrough. The next reset activity, it's something that I really enjoy doing, and that is create your yearly reading list. You know what the ideal version of yourself is. You know what kind of traits that person would have. You know what that person would be good at and not so good at. Create a reading list that supports you to become that person. And your reading list doesn't by any means have to be long. If it's short and focused, all the better. So go back to that ideal version of yourself, your visioning, and start to actually search on books that will help you to become that person. And in 2020, you want to actually study those books. If you want a list of books that have changed my life, I'm gonna have that video linked up here and down below. Those are all the books that have had the biggest impact on me throughout the years. And the last reset activity, and this is something that I try to do often, but I feel like at the end of the year, this is when you give it like a huge kick and you take it super seriously. And that is just getting your life sorted with a life admin day. So something that you guys know that I like doing is batching my little life admin tasks. These are the annoying things that sit at the back of your mind that you're like, oh, I should do that, but maybe they're not that urgent or they don't feel urgent, like booking a dentist appointment or booking a doctor's appointment. Take a day at the end of 2020 where you write a big old list of all of the little life admin tasks that are painful, that you haven't wanted to do, maybe that you procrastinated for a long time, and get them done. You want to do like a proper sprint from morning to night and just tick off as many things on the list as you possibly can so that you don't go into 2020 with a bunch of baggage and things that you know that you're supposed to do. The first time that I can remember doing this is last year, December. I did like a massive life admin day and I filmed it. I'll have that linked up here and down below if you want some inspo. And I got so much productive stuff done on that day, so I've kind of continued on that practice all year. If you liked this video, you're definitely going to like the next 5 days worth of videos because they kind of all support this one and they go more in depth on every single subject. So make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you can keep up. And if you're already keen for a whole life reset, then I have a whole playlist from my last year's life reset if you just want to get started now. So I will link that down below and that'll also be linked on the screen so you can watch that through, get some 2020 motivation, and wait for the next 5 days worth of videos. I appreciate you guys so much and I will see you soon.